agents are emerging as the latest battleground in enterprise AI.
We're gonna bring a level of automation capability that the world's never seen, and I love that you codified it as agents.
The second, which we've just reached now, is reasoners. The third is agents.
And we're not stopping there. And today we're introducing new agents you can...
And the project I've been staying up late every night working on for many moons this year is Agent.
So I think we're going to live in a world where there are going to be hundreds of millions of billions of different AI agents. Eventually, probably more AI agents than there are people in the world.
AI agents are here. The death of the smartphone has arrived. Hundreds of millions of jobs will soon disappear. The world as we know it is about to change forever, and most people have no idea what's about to hit them. But you're different. Because in the next 60 minutes, I'll show you exactly what AI agents really are, how they'll transform everything we know today, and most importantly, how to position yourself to thrive in this new world. This might be the most important video you ever watch. Consider this your survival guide to the greatest technological revolution in human history. Buckle up. The first step in surviving the next 10 years and beyond is understanding where we're going. So let me first paint a picture of the future we're headed towards. Flash forward to 2035. You're taking your dog for a walk along the beach, enjoying a slow Sunday morning. Midway through, you get a notification. It's a text from your partner. However, you don't get your phone out to read it. Instead, it pops up in the corner of your field of view in the sleek sunglasses that you're wearing. The text reads,
"Hey babe, Lucy knocked over a bottle of wine from last night. It's spilt all over the white carpet. Are you able to book in a carpet cleaner to come in next week? Make sure we don't get ripped off like last time."
And being the loving spouse you are, you of course say,
"No worries."
Getting this organized is no big deal for you, because you've got backup. As you're strolling along the beach with the swishing sound of small waves fading in and out, you say out loud,
"Hey, Amanda."
Instantly, a soothing female's voice plays through the speakers built into your sunglasses.
"Hey, how can I help?"
"I need to book in carpet cleaners for next week. I'm home on Thursday afternoon, so that's the best time. I need help getting a bottle's worth of red wine out of white carpet. Give me back some quotes, please. I want to get a good price."
"Sure thing. Give me a moment."
You reach into your pocket and grab your dog's favorite tennis ball and putting it into your handy-dandy ball thrower. You sling it far down the beach, sand flicking up behind the pup as it accelerates into the distance. By the time it returns, panting aggressively with a sandy, wet tennis ball gripped in its jaws, Amanda chimes back in.
"I've got 2 quotes back. I tried 5 places, but these are from the only ones that are available on Thursday afternoon. The first one is $120 and the other is $140. However, the more expensive one has a 4.5 star rating versus a 3.5 star for the cheaper one. Which would you like to go with?"
"The cheaper one."
"Great. Let me get it booked in for you. I'll let you know if I need any further details."
You're now at the end of the beach, so you decide to head over to your favorite cafe, looking over the water. You tie up your dog outside and step into the warm cafe, making a beeline to the counter. While you wait in line, you see a notification pop up in your glasses.
"Booking confirmed. Carpet cleaning Thursday 3 p.m.
And just like that, you've been able to organize carpet cleaning while on your Sunday walk, without lifting a finger. Now, this might sound like science fiction. A personal AI assistant that understands your needs and takes actions for you? Well, this exact thing is happening much faster than anyone expected. The core technology, from voice AI to automation tools, already exists. I've spent the last 2 years building and selling AI agents to businesses, and I've even built an entire SaaS platform for creating these kinds of AI agents. And from this experience with AI agents, the path from where we are now to this seemingly sci-fi future that I've just described has become crystal clear to me. Over the next decade, we'll witness a complete transformation in how you live, how you work, and how every business operates. In a world where everyone is so stressed about AI and automation, with mass layoffs dominating the news, understanding what is coming and the path that lies ahead for us is a superpower. And in this video, I'm going to give you that superpower. First, I'll explain AI agents, what they are, how they work, and why they're so revolutionary. Then I'll reveal the 4 phases of the evolution from where we are today to where we'll be in 10, 20, and 30 years from now, so you know what to expect from this technology. And finally, we'll break down the opportunities that lie ahead and how you can position yourself to win, whether you want to build the next Google or Facebook in this AI gold rush, or just ensure that you're lifted up by AI agents and not replaced by them. Understanding the AI agent revolution is so important because billions of people are going to be caught with their pants down, unprepared for this shift that's coming. But once you understand why this revolution is happening now, everything becomes so much clearer. Why AI agents are inevitable, why they'll kill smartphones, why every tech giant is racing to control them right now, and why they'll create the biggest wealth opportunity since the internet. It all comes down to a fundamental flaw in how humans use computers, a limitation that's been holding humanity back for decades. To understand why AI agents will change everything, we first need to ask what seems like a silly question, but what even is a computer? Sure, they have screens and circuit boards and we use them to browse the internet, but what do they actually do for us? I mean, since AI agents are just the latest and greatest software that computers run, understanding this question is key to understanding what the future holds for us. And nobody understood the value that computers offered humanity better than Steve Jobs.
I think one of the things that really separates us from the high primates is that we're tool builders. And I read a study that measured the efficiency of locomotion for various species on the planet. The condor used the least energy to move a kilometer. And humans came in with a rather unimpressive showing about a third of the way down the list. It was not too proud of a showing for the crown of creation. So that didn't look so good, but then somebody at Scientific American had the insight to test the efficiency of locomotion for a man on a bicycle. And a man on a bicycle, or a human on a bicycle, blew the condor away, completely off the top of the charts. And that's what a computer is to me. What a computer is to me is, it's the most remarkable tool that we've ever come up with. And it's the equivalent of a bicycle for our minds.
And of course, Steve is exactly right. Just as bicycles multiply our physical power, computers multiply our mental power. They can handle the tedious work so that we can focus on what matters. Think about a small business owner before computers. They'd have to spend hours manually tracking inventory, writing invoices, calculating their taxes, and now computers handle all of that automatically while they get to focus on actually growing their business. And so the value of computers is that all of this freed up time can get poured back into things that actually move humanity forward. The ripple effect of this productivity gain is everywhere that computers touch. You have doctors who can treat more patients because computers handle all their paperwork for them. You have scientists who can analyze vast data sets to make breakthroughs even faster than before. Engineers can simulate designs instead of building costly prototypes, and writers can reach millions of readers without ever needing a publisher. And so this is what computers really are. They are tools that automate the tedious tasks so humans get to focus on what really matters. But the irony is that while computers automate countless tasks for us, we still have to manually operate the computer itself. So every time you need to do something on a computer, you first need to plan the steps. So you need to, okay, how am I going to do this? I'm going to open the app, click the button, etc. Then you need to actually execute on those steps yourself. You need to click, type, swipe, drag, all of the steps you need to execute yourself manually. So while we've built these incredible automation machines, we're still operating and controlling them like some factory workers from the 1800s. And AI agents are about to change this forever. What we're about to witness is actually a continuation of a trend in computing that's been building for the past 70 years. All computers, from your smartphone to your laptop, are limited by one thing, and that's how fast we can tell them what to do. We can call this the input bandwidth of a computer, how much information we can feed into it through clicks, swipes, keystrokes, and gestures. Let's look at this trend throughout history. Starting off in the 1940s, the first computers used switches, and imagine you had to flip dozens of switches just to do some basic math on them. So you could manage maybe about 10 inputs per minute as your input bandwidth. In the 1960s, keyboards arrived. So you could now type commands directly into the computer, but you had to memorize them like some kind of secret language. And so the speed of input jumped up to maybe 40 per minute. And then in 1984, the Apple Macintosh brought us point and click and graphical user interfaces. And so with this keyboard and a mouse, we could finally hit, say, 200 inputs per minute. Then in 2007, the iPhone made computing portable. But despite having touchscreens, we're still stuck at around 200 inputs per minute. So for the past 15 minutes, we haven't gotten any faster at talking to our computers. We're still limited by our fingers. And even Elon Musk sees this as a painful limitation for humanity.
The rate at which we can type words into a phone or a computer, it's very slow. Our input is much better because with the data rate from vision is many thousands of times, maybe a million times better than the rate at which we can output.
Close your eyes and look somewhere else in the room aside from whatever device you're watching this on. Now open them and close them again. In that split second, your brain processed everything. Colors, shapes, distances, movement. Now, if you tried describing what you just saw over a text, you'd be typing for minutes to capture what your brain has processed instantly. I'm in my living room, there's a great couch against the wall, there's a framed mountain picture above it, there's a wooden coffee table to the left. So we're essentially running a supercomputer, which is our brain, with dial-up internet connection to send the instructions from our brain into our devices. It's painfully slow. For example, let's say you wanted to buy those fluffy slippers that your ex-wife never let you wear. Firstly, in order to get your fluffy slippers, you need to plan every step to get there. So step one may be, okay, I need to head to the Amazon app. Then I'll need to search something in the search bar. Then I'll need to get Prime delivery. Then you'll need to check the reviews to get the best ones. Once you have your plan, you then need to execute on every single one of those actions. You need to unlock your phone, you need to find the Amazon app, you need to tap search, you need to type in pink fluffy slippers, one letter at a time. You need to tap on the filters, toggle Prime, sort by rating, and then hit the buy now button. And that's over 20 different actions just to buy a pair of slippers on your phone. And we do this hundreds of times daily. Say if you're booking dinner, that might be 15 or 20 more steps. Sending an email might be another 20 steps. Scheduling a meeting might be 25 or more. And it's all of this planning and doing inefficiency that AI agents seek to solve. Current computers are highly inefficient. Got it. But what if we could create the perfect computer? One that truly delivers on the promise of freeing human potential. The ultimate bicycle for the mind. It would need to, firstly, understand what you want, so you can instruct it like you were just talking to a person. And secondly, you'd want it to be able to figure out the steps to do the thing, so you don't have to do the planning anymore yourself. And then you'd want it to do everything for you, so no more clicking or typing or swiping for you to do on your end. Does that sound like science fiction? Because the technology isn't just possible, it's already here. We are standing at the beginning of something massive, a shift potentially bigger than the internet itself. But of course there's a catch. The same technology that will transform computing will also automate millions of jobs, transform entire industries overnight, and reshape society itself. This is why every tech giant is racing to control it. Why Microsoft, Google, Facebook are pouring billions into it. Why it will create the biggest wealth opportunities since the internet. And the technology at the center of it all is, of course, AI agents. What exactly are AI agents and how will they reshape our world? Think about how we use computers today. Practically everything we do involves using different tools on our devices. When you're writing something, you open your browser to research. If you're managing finances, you'll open up Excel, and that's the tool that you're using. If you're scheduling a meeting, then you'll use your calendar app. We are constantly switching between these tools in order to get things done. But this is where agents are a bit different. So instead of us as humans using those tools, AI agents allow us just to describe to an AI what the task is and what the end goal is. And then the AI agent plans which tools it needs to use and how to use them, and then actually does it on its own. Not only can they complete the task much quicker than we can, but in theory, we wouldn't even need to know how to use these tools in the first place. And it's this that makes AI agents so revolutionary. They're not just some chatbot that you can talk to, they're actually digital workers that can actually get things done. The first phase of the revolution is already here. They're called text-based AI agents. Now, these digital workers have exploded in popularity over the past year or so, with platforms like OpenAI GPTs, which let literally anyone create their own AI agents without coding. Firstly, an AI model, or LLM, which is the brain that understands your instructions and plans how to help. Secondly, it needs tools, which are the hands that let it take actions in apps and on websites. And thirdly, it needs some kind of memory so that it can remember the past messages and the past actions that it's taken. Let me show you how this all works together with two different examples. Say I built you a weather checking agent and you ask it, what's the weather like in New York? Firstly, the AI brain or model is going to understand that you want the current weather in New York. Then it's going to use the weather tool to fetch that live weather data. And then thirdly, it's going to give you back the answer, which is pretty basic, right? Just one request, one tool, one action. But here's where it gets a bit more interesting. Say I had a more complex task of finding a carpet cleaner. You may ask it, I spilled wine on the carpet, find someone to clean it next week. This particular AI agent would have multiple different tools to allow it to achieve these outcomes, but let's watch how the AI agent can think like a human and break this task down. Firstly, it would plan. Okay, well, I need to find cleaners, I need to get quotes, and they need to book the best option. Then it would use its web searching tool to find local cleaners. Then it's going to reflect, okay, I found 5 cleaners. Now I need to find their prices. Then it would call each of the businesses to get quotes. Then it would pause and reflect again. Okay, I've got the prices. I should also check the quality too. Then it's going to search for reviews and ratings for each of those businesses. Then it's going to create some kind of comparison spreadsheet. Then it's going to analyze the results. The second option has the best price to rating ratio. And then it would go ahead and book the appointment. Plan, act, reflect, adjust, and then plan again is exactly how humans tackle complex problems. The difference is these agents can do it much faster with perfect memory of every detail. And so these tools that agents use are basically special connections to apps and websites. They're like digital highways that let the AI press buttons and enter information over the internet. And we call these connections APIs, and they basically make the entire internet work. Through platforms like OpenAI's GPTs and my own software Predictive, hundreds of thousands of people are already building and using these text-based AI agents daily, even without knowing how to code. We even have platforms like agents.ai by HubSpot that has created the first social networking platform for AI agents that allows you to build and hire these AI agents as teammates to help you get stuff done at work. But we'll touch on this more later. But you get the idea, right? Text-based agents are already here, and they take us basically 2/3 of the way to the perfect computer that we talked about before. Unfortunately, we haven't hit our first target of having natural communication, as we're still having to type it manually into the computer. However, we have boxes 2 and 3 ticked off, which are planning the steps, as it's going to plan the steps for us now, and of the actual doing and operating the computer, as the AI agent is now using tools itself to execute on those steps without us having to do anything. So overall, not a bad start. Now you might be wondering, what made this leap in computing possible? After decades of stagnation in our communication with computers, why has everything now started to change? Well, the game changer was the creation of the large language model, or LLMs, which hit the world stage with ChatGPT at the end of 2022. For the first time, humans could write to machines and be understood and even have a conversation. And we take it for granted nowadays because we're kind of used to these tools, but this is a technological leap that will likely go down as one of the most significant innovations in human history. We literally witnessed the moment where man and machine could finally talk to each other and understand one another. And while at first people did just use this technology for basic tasks like writing emails or poems, companies like OpenAI soon realized its true potential. Since these AI models understand language so well, they can read instructions for using tools or APIs and take actions when you ask them to. But at the end of the day, with text-based agents, we're still typing everything letter by letter. We've cracked this computer language understanding problem, but we're still limited by how fast we can actually type and input data into the computer. Well, fortunately, there's a better way. You'll notice a bit of a pattern as we start to move through these phases, and that's that the AI agent itself remains the same. All that's changing is how we're giving it instructions, the format in which we're giving the instructions to the agent. For voice-based AI agents, we are ditching the keyboard and speaking directly to the agent. No longer are we restricted by the speed of our fingers, but now the speed of our lips. This AI voice agent technology also already exists. This year we have had new models released that can take audio as an input and respond in audio also. Right now, anyone can use no-code AI voice agent platforms like Synthflow or AirAI to create their own custom voice agent. I've got plenty of tutorials here on this YouTube channel and also inside my free course if you want to check those out. Learning to create your own text and voice-based AI agents is by far one of the best things you can do right now to prepare for the AI agent revolution. But we're going to cover this a little bit more later in this video. This voice AI technology, however, is still kind of finding its feet. Outside of basic things like answering from a knowledge base, getting these voice agents to do useful things requires creating a lot of custom tools. And while these tools can be built on no-code platforms also, in order to integrate them into a flawless system takes a team of experienced voice AI developers. But that is changing rapidly, so let's not let it distract from just how far we've come in our search for this perfect computer. With these voice-based AI agents, we have ticked off box number 1, which is natural communication, as we're now talking with our voice rather than having to use our fingers. And of course, these also do all of the planning steps for us, and it's going to do the executing steps or doing steps for us as well. So this seems perfect, right? We've got all of our boxes ticked for our perfect computer. We finally have a computer where we can tell it what we want, and it does it. Well, we can still do better. The final step in unclogging this bottleneck between humans and machines is the use of brain-computer interfaces. These are devices that hook directly into your brain to detect electrical signals in your brain when you think about certain things. These signals are fed into a super smart computer that can essentially decode these signals from your brain and translate them into your intentions for moving a mouse and clicking things on a screen, at least initially in the current stages. But why do we need these? Well, just as our fingers can only move so fast, our lips can only go so fast as well. So the fastest possible way to operate a computer would be just thinking about doing something and the computer executing on it for you immediately. So there's no fingers or mouths involved. If this sounds like sci-fi, it's not. And this is where our mate Elon Musk comes in. And we've actually seen the first successful human trials of this kind of brain-computer interface technology by Elon's company Neuralink, where patients can now operate a computer by their thoughts alone. The guy who got the first Neuralink implant as a human has even been playing some Civilization 6 in his free time with nothing but his brain power. And of course, if you can use your thoughts to play computer games, then you can definitely use your thoughts to command and direct AI agents. So this new type of input is put onto the exact same kind of AI agent framework we've talked about before, but we're just changing the input again to something that takes even less effort. So we've gone from typing to talking to now thinking, and this essentially allows us to send more instructions at an even faster rate. And the interesting question is, would you want to hook a computer up to your brain? And while I hate to admit it, in 30 years down the line, the chance of each of us having some kind of chip that allows us to communicate with computers by just thinking alone is almost 100%, at least in the Western world. It likely won't be a drill a hole in the side of your skull level of invasiveness like Neuralink is in its current form now. But still, it's a pretty scary thought. But surely this must be as far as we can go with this brain-computer interfaces and AI agents, right? Well, we can actually still do better. Even brain-computer interfaces with AI agents have a limitation, in that you still need to actively think about what you want to do for the computer to pick up on it. But what if your AI agent could predict your needs before you even had to think about them? And this is the final evolution of the AI agent technology that we will see of predictive agents. So imagine this. Your agent notices that you are working late from the office. It knows that you usually eat dinner around a certain time, and it sees that you haven't already eaten. And so it automatically asks you if you want to order food, your favorite comfort food, to the office on Uber Eats. And by this point, we would also be able to have our round-the-clock tracking of our blood for things like glucose and vitamin deficiencies, etc. So our agent will also be able to be our personalized health coach and be tapped into everything that is happening within our body, and then be predictive and trying to help us to optimize our body and health also. This collision of health tech with AI agents and brain-computer interfaces is another massive change to day-to-day life for us that promises to bring greatly increased human prosperity if it's done ethically. But health tech is a topic for a whole nother video. Circling back to our perfect computer concept, with this predictive brain-computer interfaces, we've now solved a problem that we didn't even know we had. And that's step one of needing or desiring, which is now solved by these AI prediction engines. And then of course the planning is solved by the AI agents and also the doing. So we've taken this to a level that we didn't even know we could or needed to. This portrait of the future is unsettling to most. I mean, it certainly is to me. And the merging of human and machine through these AI agents really marks a turning point in our species story. So I'm not really seeing just another tech bubble with this AI agents thing. We're literally witnessing Homo sapiens break free of the chains of biological evolution, and they're snatching the pen of intelligent design from nature itself. So no longer must we as a species wait thousands of years to evolve as a species. We're going to be just one new software update away from new superpowers through our AI agents and our brain implants. Those who successfully merge with these new technologies will become something else entirely, like a superior species that's better adapted to the digital world that we've created. And as for the rest of us, well, we're like modern day Neanderthals, equally intelligent but hopelessly outmatched by their enhanced cousins. And we know what happened to them. But why does this all matter? Like, why should you actually care? Well, it's because through this insane amount of change that we're going to see over the coming decades, from these basic chatbots to brain-computer interfaces, the AI agent framework itself remains constant. It's only the input type that is changing. And so if you're looking for a technology to place all the bets on for the next century, AI agents are your best option. And this is why every tech company right now is throwing everything they have at this new technology. But it's not just the big dogs who can benefit from this AI agent revolution, right? So we're witnessing a multi-trillion-dollar industry developing before our eyes. So getting a slice of the action is actually a lot easier than you think. It's just a case of being able to grab a bucket and be standing in the right place to catch a slice of it, or catch your fair share. But before we get into how you can actually hitch a ride on this technology to get what you want out of life, we first need to break down how AI agents will change your personal life, work life, and how businesses themselves will operate. While the mainstream adoption of these brain-computer interfaces will be the thing maybe 20 or 30 years from now, the next major shift in how we live is actually much closer, and it's already beginning. Perhaps the biggest change will be the death of something that we can barely imagine living without today, and that is the smartphone. Our constant companion of the past 15 years is going to sort of fade into the background as a radically different way of experiencing digital life emerges. So your phone will be replaced by a personal AI assistant that is always with you and accessible through a new suite of subtle and intelligent devices that you carry with you. This transformation is being driven by 3 technological breakthroughs that are converging to the same point. So firstly, we have AI that can truly understand and engage in natural conversation with you. Like ChatGPT, you can imagine Siri, but actually competent and can do complex tasks and remember all of your past interactions. Secondly, we have AR or augmented reality glasses that look like normal sunglasses. We've seen Meta just recently release their Orion glasses with built-in displays and speakers, which is crazy when you see the demos that they've done, which for the first time gives us a glimpse into the future of what these AI glasses are going to look like. And thirdly, natural ways to control computers, including subtle gestures with your hands or voice or even eye tracking as well. When these 3 combine, they will create a new personal technology stack. Your smartphone goes from being the #1 computer you use on day-to-day life to being a hidden hub that you keep in your pocket that's basically just processing things in the background. Your AR glasses provide visual information within your field of view. A watch or a wristband reads your gestures, and your AI assistant is always listening for your voice and your commands through your AI glasses and the microphone within them or an earpiece, and it's orchestrating everything you want to do behind the scenes. Think about planning dinner with friends. So today, that means juggling multiple apps. You're going messages, calendar, restaurant bookings, etc. But in 2035, you'll simply say to your assistant, let's get dinner with Mike and Sarah this week. Your AI assistant, knowing everyone's preferences and schedules, coordinates with their AI assistants, shows restaurant options to you through your glasses, and then lets you confirm the restaurant choice with a couple subtle actions with your hand or even just eye motions. When the world switches over to this new tech stack, the social fabric of our world is going to change, because instead of everyone staring at their phones, you'll just see people walking around with these sleek glasses on or little earpieces, and allowing people to stay present in the real world while the AI assistants are handling everything for them in the background.
Another subtle thing that's happening, which I don't think we should sleep on, is that the AirPods are probably going to become much more socially acceptable to wear on a 24/7 basis because of this feature that allows it to become a useful hearing aid. And I think as it starts being worn in more and more social environments, and as the form factor of that shrinks, that's when I really do think we're going to find some very novel use case, which is, very unobtrusive. It kind of blends into your own physical makeup as a person without it really sticking out.
But this is more than just a new way to use technology. Just think about how different your life will feel when you're no longer tackling everything alone. Whether you're trying to find the perfect gift for someone, you're trying to navigate a foreign city, or just handle a stressful situation, you're going to have this hyper-competent sidekick that knows everything about you, that's available 24/7 to help you in anything that you need. And so personally, I think this will mark one of the biggest shifts in the human experience since the smartphone, and that's the end of facing the world's complexity and challenges of life alone. Everyone is going to have their own AI agent companion, making life's daily challenges just a little bit easier to handle. And you have to think about how many more people this will turn into capable human beings and free up parts of the population that otherwise couldn't necessarily join the workforce or be productive humans because they just couldn't organize themselves. Now having this AI system that can actually help them do stuff, that will unlock, foreseeably, a chunk of the population that previously was just unable to function in modern society because it's too hectic. And I'm sure you know that even as a functioning human, it can feel like quite a lot at different times in your life. For anyone who works at a computer, from marketers to analysts to managers, the way that we work is about to change dramatically. And someone who is well ahead of the curve when it comes to the future of work is Dharmesh Shah, and he's the founder of HubSpot, a now multi-billion-dollar tech giant.
Because I predict that in the future, our teams are going to be hybrid. They will consist of humans, like you, and AI agents.
So let me show you what the future of work in 2035 looks like through the eyes of an imaginary character. We can call her Sarah. She's a marketing leader / CMO at an imaginary company called Sundays Swimwear, which is an online swimwear brand. So Sarah's in at the office, she's at work, she's just met with the CEO to analyze and discuss some of the past month's numbers. You're looking at their sales data. And so they notice that this retro-inspired collection is selling very well to the younger customers, but they also spot another huge opportunity, which is women aged 40 to 55 who grew up with more classic swimwear styles of the 80s and 90s. So now that they have this insight, they need to create a new campaign to take action on it. And 10 years ago, this would have meant weeks of coordinating with teams and vendors to get a new campaign put together. But in 2035, Sarah starts by asking her competitor analysis agent through her earpiece, write me a report on how premium swimwear brands are connecting with women over 40, especially using nostalgic themes. In minutes, this agent has analyzed thousands of ads and websites and delivers a 2-page report showing Sarah that vintage-inspired designs and old-school beach imagery strongly resonate with this kind of audience. So then Sarah briefs her creative director agent. Let's create ads that capture the golden age of beach culture. We can think 1980s California summer, use models in some kind of vintage style settings that remind our audience of their favorite beach memories. The creative director agent then orchestrates the rest of the AI agent team, starting with the copywriting agent who's going to be told to write some nostalgic ad copy for the ads, then work with the image agent to generate some retro-styled beach photos, then it tells the video agent to make some ads up with an 80s summer vibe, and then finally it communicates to the web design agent to build a themed landing page to run the ads to that integrates some of the themes that the competitor analysis agent discovered. And so with this example, we can see that just like how we once said there's an app for that, now
our vision for the future is there's an agent for that.
And so within an hour, Sarah is ready to review a vintage themed landing page from the web design agent, 10 new video ads capturing this perfect summer nostalgia angle that they wanted to go for, 20 new retro styled image ads, and different copy variations that speak to the memories of summers gone past. And so Sarah, the CMO, now skims over all of these ads and then picks the best ones that align with the brand's image and their tone of voice the most, and then tells her media buying agent, launch these to women 40 to 55 in the US, let's use $3,000 daily across Facebook and Google, target people who engage with vintage fashion content. Then the media buyer agent handles all of the technical setup on Facebook and Google ads automatically. And just like that, within an hour, they've taken that insight from the meeting and taken action and rolled out a new campaign. And for those of you who are not familiar with the digital marketing world, in order to plan, film, and edit all of those new ads in the current day would normally take weeks. From this, we can see that the businesses of the future will move from insight to action in just a few hours rather than weeks by using less people and using more agents.
Because each company will get much more leverage from using software and few people versus lots of people with a few pieces of software.
This isn't about replacing humans, it's about finally delivering on the promise of computers. Remember what we said at the start, that computers should be bicycles for the mind. But for years, we've been like factory workers just manually operating these computers, typing data into spreadsheets, copying and pasting, endless clicking through all of these menus. And now, these AI agents are finally able to do all of the busy work for us. And this is freeing humans like Sarah to do what they do best, and understanding emotions and memories and making creative decisions for the brand and using their taste and judgment and guiding their team of AI agents to bring that vision to life. This is the future of work in the AI agent era.
Where this all leads is to agents, where you can actually tell the AI to do work for you. You give it an objective, it can break the objective down into tasks, and then it can work each of those tasks.
So just like calculators freed us from doing math by hand, AI agents will free us from manually operating computers. The future of work isn't human versus machines, it's humans empowered by machines, finally free to focus on the work that really matters. If this pretty dramatic shift in work concerns you, in the next section I'm going to be breaking down how to win in this new world of hybrid AI and human teams. And finally, beyond just how our personal lives and work lives are going to change, and the way that businesses actually deal with customers is about to transform completely as well. And the first signs of that are actually already here. Just like how businesses once rushed to create websites in the .com era, they're now starting to use AI agents both internally, as we just covered before, but also to talk to customers. It's beginning right now with simple text-based agents on websites and even AI voice agents that are answering phones. And these are slowly being rolled out across the world right now. So instead of a human receptionist picking up the phone, customers call and talk to an AI that can answer questions, take bookings, and handle customer support questions. And we can already build these today, as I said, and it's getting easier and cheaper every single month. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg sees this as just the start.
I kind of think that every business in the future, just like they have an email address and a website and a social media presence today, I think every business is going to have an AI agent that their customers can talk to in the future.
But phone and chat agents are just the beginning. The real change comes when businesses create AI agents that can talk directly to your personal AI assistant over the internet. As we said in the personal life changes, we're all going to have our own personal AI assistant. And just like how businesses have an email address and a phone number now, they'll also have some kind of code that allows your agent to communicate with their customer-facing or outward-facing agent directly as well. When a certain business shows up in your personal agent search results when you're looking for a carpet cleaner, for example, it can look on their website or their Google business profile and find the contact details for the business's agent and then start to have a conversation over the internet with that agent. If you remember how Amanda helped us to find a carpet cleaner before, soon she'll just be able to connect directly to the AI agents of these local cleaning companies. She'll be able to conversate back and forth over the internet to get quotes rapidly, check when they're free, negotiate prices, all in seconds without her having to call over the phone system as is currently. This shift towards agent-to-agent communication changes everything and how businesses reach customers. Because when these AI agents are doing most of the browsing and searching, that flashy websites and ads become a lot less important. And instead, businesses will need to make their information on their site and about their business as clear and as structured as possible so that AI agents can understand it easily. So essentially optimizing for AI agents rather than humans. And so digital marketing itself could potentially be turned on its head. Furthermore, these kinds of AI agent interactions makes everything so much more personal as well. Because when your AI talks to the business's AI, it knows your history and what you like. So if you're ordering pizza or something, the AI from the company or the pizza shop is going to remember your usual toppings and delivery instructions, etc. If you're booking a hotel, their AI might know that you prefer high floors and extra pillows. Basically, we are moving from anonymous transactions to much more personalized ones through the use of our personal AI agents, e.g. our Siri that comes in our iPhone, but on steroids, that's capable of talking to the public agents of businesses on our behalf. Every interaction will be tailored just for you, even when you're buying from companies with millions of customers. So it's really personalization at scale. And it's the businesses that embrace this that make themselves easy for AI agents to work with and move towards more personalized experiences that will win long term. And those that stick to the old websites and call centers will likely be left behind. So the future isn't going to be about who has the best website. It's about who is the most helpful and friendly AI agent that's ready to serve customers through our own personal AI assistants that'll likely come through our phones. All right, so now you understand where we're headed. Took a lot of explaining, but we got there eventually. And so the world of 2035 should be pretty damn crystal clear in your mind's eye by now. But the question now is, knowing all of this, how do you position yourself ahead of time to be able to thrive in this new world? With so much changing around us, how can you navigate this stormy period like a skilled sailor? And the strategy used to navigate this period will entirely depend on where you're in life and the career path you're on. So let's break down the steps to survive into 4 key groups. Firstly, we have students and young adults. Secondly, we have entrepreneurs and business owners. Thirdly, we have office workers. And finally, we have manual workers. But first, you need to understand this truth that applies to everyone regardless of where you are in life. And that's that those that prepare now will thrive, and those who deny reality will struggle. It's really that simple. So starting off with the young ones like me, those of you who are maybe 18 to 25, you have been handed the opportunity of a century. If you think about, say, Steve Jobs, he didn't just succeed because he was brilliant. He was born in 1955 and hit the perfect moment to be able to catch the personal computer or PC revolution. He was a 21-year-old college dropout when he and Steve Wozniak started Apple in a garage together. If he was born 10 years earlier or later, then Apple might never have even happened. You can look at Steve Jobs' whole generation. You got Bill Gates in 1955, Larry Ellison in 1944, Michael Dell in 1965. They all caught the same wave. Their companies, Apple, Microsoft, Oracle, Dell, they dominated because they were young, hungry, and perfectly positioned when personal computing exploded. So it's very much timing based. Yes, they were brilliant, of course, but they did catch the wave at the right time. And we're at that same inflection point now with AI. This is your moment. Just like theirs was the PC revolution, yours can be the AI revolution. While others see uncertainty, you should see possibility, because you have the chance to become the architects of humanity's next chapter. But here's the trap to avoid. Traditional education is designed for a world that is disappearing. Spending 4 to 7 years specializing in one narrow field is by far the riskiest move you can make right now as a young person. Things are moving so fast, you can't be certain about the future of any career these days. Instead, your strategy should be to position yourself at the center of this revolution. Learn to build and manage AI agents. Master the AI automation skill set. Whether you want to learn how to code, for me it only took me a few months to learn the basics, or if you'd rather stick to one or a few of the many incredible no-code AI automation platforms that are out there, there are all the tools and all the knowledge out there that you need to get started in building and managing AI agents. But it's so important to keep in mind that this stuff moves so fast. You're not going to find some kind of college course on it. You have to roll up your sleeves and you have to find this information for yourself online. And if you want to have a solid foundation to get started, I have an entire free course to learn these skills in my free school community. Once you have these skills, you have two paths. Soon, every company is going to need one or more of these AI automation specialists. You can, with these skills, go and join these companies and get paid big bucks to help them with it. Or if you're more entrepreneurial, you can start your own AI automation agency and help businesses to make the transition into the AI era. So I dropped out of university to pursue entrepreneurship full-time back in 2020, and I started my own AI business journey with the second option, which is building and selling AI agents and other AI systems as well to businesses through my agency, Morningside AI. For those who are already on the entrepreneurial path, we are at a pivotal moment. And your path forward depends entirely on where you are starting. We can break the entrepreneurial class into two distinct groups. Firstly, we have the AI entrepreneurs. These are people who are looking to profit directly from the AI revolution. Just like in California and the gold rush, the biggest winners weren't the miners looking for gold, they were the ones selling the shovels. It's pretty cliche at this point. But in this case, in the AI revolution, the gold are the productivity gains that businesses are chasing from AI. As an AI entrepreneur, you're going to be selling the shovels to help businesses look for that gold. As Zuckerberg said, every business in the future, just like they have an email address and a website and a social media presence today, is going to have an AI agent that their customers can talk to. This increasing demand for AI tools, education, and AI development services is the surest bet out right now. For aspiring AI entrepreneurs, three massive opportunities stand out. Firstly, AI automation agencies. So this is an online business model that helps other businesses to implement AI systems. And as David Sachs notes, you can't just throw an LLM at these large enterprises. You do have to go in there and integrate with their existing systems. You need to map the workflows, etc. And this is exactly how I started building and selling AI automation services to businesses through my own AI automation agency. Secondly, you have AI education, so teaching businesses and individuals how to use and implement AI. And the demand for AI knowledge is exploding as expected, but the supply of capable and credible teachers is still small right now. So this is a massive opportunity to help people to understand AI better. And thirdly, we have AI software products, or AI SaaS. This is building the tools and platforms that businesses need to make this transition into the AI age. In the future, companies are going to get a lot more leverage from using lots of software and a few people versus lots of people with a few pieces of software. There is a surging demand for specific AI tools and agent systems that can automate certain parts of specific types of businesses. And this is really the key here for AI SaaS, is that being laser focused is really where the money is in AI SaaS right now. And now, as for these three different AI business models, this stuff does work, because as an AI entrepreneur myself, I'm running all three of these kinds of businesses. And in the past year, I've rode this wave of AI entrepreneurship from literally a business started out of my spare bedroom to recently moving back here to Auckland, New Zealand, and opening my first office. And we have over 40 staff on payroll. So I've had sort of meteoric success. And these three business models is exactly what I've used to get there. We are still so early to all of these opportunities. Now for the second group of the entrepreneurial class, what we can call existing business owners. So if you already run a traditional business in any kind of industry, you're facing essentially an existential threat within the next 10 years or so, because every industry is going to have these AI first competitors that pop up. Just like how the World Wide Web came out and e-commerce, etc., and kind of flipped certain industries on their head when people came in and said, hey, look, these bookstores are pretty inefficient. Why don't I just make a bookstore online? Oh, let's call it Amazon. And now we have, of course, Amazon. So in the same way that the web and certain technologies enable people to flip the business model on its head, The exact same thing is going to happen with AI, where certain people come in and look at the current business that you are running right now and go, how can I rethink this from the ground up by using far more efficient AI systems in every department of the business? So these businesses are essentially going to be operating with smaller teams, leaner teams. They're going to have much more personalized marketing, as we went over earlier. And overall, because they're using AI for everything, they're going to have much lower costs. And so your mission as a business owner now is pretty clear, and that's to become the AI first version of your business before someone else does. And this means building in-house AI expertise, whether that's yourself as the founder or CEO, or bringing in AI automation experts. And then you need to rethink your core processes from the ground up with AI and start doing some pilot tests, exploring the options so that you're not caught on the back foot when they do come out. And start looking into how you can use AI to scale up the personalization of your marketing. Cheeky mention, if you're a business owner and any of that stuff sounds remotely interesting, you can either choose to work with myself and my agency. We build those systems out for businesses, and we also do consulting. My link will be down below. But if you want to hop into my free school community, there are thousands and thousands of other AI automation agency owners in there. So by far the best place on the internet right now to find this kind of AI help for businesses is within that free community. So the first link in the description will be able to take you in there. Once you're inside, you can make an introduction about you and your business in the introductions tab, and then also make a post in the hiring and for hire section, and let the community know what you're looking for. And so if it wasn't already obvious, the winners in the business and traditional business category here will be those who embrace this change. It's not really rocket science. And the losers will be those who wait until their industry is disrupted by an AI first competitor and they're caught on the back foot. For office workers, particularly those in knowledge work, and that's in jobs that primarily involve the handling and processing of information rather than of physical goods, you are in the danger zone. I mean, you look at what's happening already.
Today, you can use O1 and describe, or just feed it the data and describe the analysis you want to get out of that data. And within a few minutes, and I've now done this probably a dozen times in the last week with different projects internally at my company, it gives you the entire answer that an analyst would have taken days to put together for you.
What you must keep in mind is that all of the routine tasks, all of the low-hanging fruit of knowledge work and of computer and office work, that's soon going to be automated. So this is things like research, you've got data entry, you've got data analysis, basically any kind of administrative task you can think of, writing task, creative work like design, like image generation, video generation, music generation, basic kinds of content creation, and of course things like customer support as well. You get the message. All of these kind of low-hanging fruit, and from this the message is pretty clear. Your employer will either give you AI agents to handle these tasks that can now be done by AI and then expand your responsibilities to sort of fill up your role, or they'll just eliminate your position entirely. And if you hadn't realized it already, there's an entire class of new AI entrepreneurs starting these AI automation agencies that are coming to help businesses to build these efficient AI agents that will ultimately replace you. And David Sachs explains this very well.
It's assembly lines of people doing very complicated knowledge work, but ultimately you can unravel exactly what the chain is there, the chain of thought that goes into their decisions.
100%.
It's very complicated, and that's why you have to have humans doing it. But you could imagine that once system integrators or enterprise SaaS apps go into these places, go into these companies, they integrate the data, and then they map out the workflow, you could replace a lot of these steps in the workflow with agents. Yeah.
And all of this means that you have two paths forward. One is to become your department's AI expert. And this means you need to be able to learn to build and manage AI agents. You need to learn to use no-code platforms. You need to position yourself as the bridge between the old and the new ways of working, these new hybrid teams of AI agents and humans. Be the person who knows how to get the most out of these new tools. And then your second option is to try and move into roles that AI cannot easily replace. That's things like client relationship management, particularly for the bigger the client, the better, where you wouldn't want to put an AI on communicating with the client. Things like strategy development, things like creative direction and using your taste and eye, your project leadership for large projects, and generally just judgment-based decision-making, where you are using your experience and judgment or taste to make a decision about what the business does. And if you choose to try and become your department or your business's AI expert, then you need to follow the same path as the students and young people that we discussed earlier, and that's self-directed learning about AI automation. The good news is that there's never been more information available about how to build and use these AI agents. As I said, you can start with my free course in the school community. I also have a complete guide to building AI agents here here on YouTube. It's like an hour and a half long. Best intro to AI agents on the internet, if I do say so myself. The link for that will also be in the description below. And of course, there are dozens of other great creators who are also sharing the knowledge on this AI automation topic as well. But office workers need to remember this now cliche AI truth, and that AI won't replace you, but someone using AI will. And while that is so overused, it is true. The winners of this transition are going to be those who will embrace using these tools to learn and learn to work alongside them. And the losers will be the ones who just wait until their job disappears. For the manual workers, you, out of all of the groups, are the ones with the most runway. So physical jobs are safe until robotics catches up with AI, which is still a few years away right now. But we have companies like Tesla and a bunch of companies out of China that are showing improvements in humanoid robots, who could very soon start to replace some of the most basic jobs that humans do for manual work. So you can't get comfortable, unfortunately, is what I'm trying to say. So looking ahead the next 5-10 years, you have 3 options to prepare. And that's, you can position yourself to benefit from the AI automation boom. So you can start specializing as a robot technician or a robot specialist. There are going to be many new roles that are created by this takeover of manual work by robotics. You can start now to try to position yourself to be one of the winners from that transition. Secondly, you can try to use your hands-on specific experience and knowledge of the industry you work in to help lead the transformation into automation within your industry. So that might mean try to partner up with a company or partner up with some developers or robotics engineers saying, look, I understand the needs of this industry. I think we can build a robotic solution to create some value here and build a business around it. Or thirdly, you can try to move into a role that uses skills that robots still struggle with, which is like complex problem solving or human interaction. But if it's just like gardening or moving boxes around, there's not much you can do. While your job is safe today, the world is changing rapidly. And so use this time, these next few years, to prepare, not to pretend that this change isn't going to come. And so it is safe to say that the coming decades will be unlike anything we've seen in human history. And some see danger, others see opportunity, but the truth is that it's both. We're standing at a crossroads, and behind us is 200,000 years of slow biological evolution as Homo sapiens, as a species. And ahead of us is this explosive technological enhancement and the birth of a new species of superhuman. And so this video isn't about just surviving, it's about thriving in a world where humans and machines merge, where AI agents become our closest partners, where individual creativity meets unlimited computational power. Yes, there will be disruption, yes, there will be resistance, yes, there will be those who are left behind. But you won't be one of them, right? Because now you see it. You can see it coming. That's the whole point of this video, was to give you that clarity and that superpower of being able to see what's coming first. Now you understand the path that lies in front of us. Sometimes I have to step back and try to remind myself just how insane this moment in history is. We are the generation that's going to witness like the end of traditional human work, with computers doing basically all of it for us. We're going to see the death of smartphones and the birth of these AI companions. And so when our grandchildren ask us about this time, when they ask us what it was like to live through the greatest transformation in human history, when they ask how we handled the transition from human to superhuman, what will you tell them? That you saw it coming and you took action, or you waited until it was too late? The choice, of course, is yours, but remember that history doesn't care if you're ready. It moves forward regardless, and the AI agent revolution is coming. It's here right now, and the only question is, which side of history will you be on?
What's the best piece of advice he ever gave you?
I think Peter was the person who told me this really pithy quote that in a world that's changing so quickly, the biggest risk you can take is not taking any risk.